morning. This is Dr. Susan, and this is Emily. She's my co-host today, and this is Play and Learn. Last week, we started a story called Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. And last week, I told you after the story that I had the character, and I'm going to introduce you to him today. So this character is the Gimme Gimme. That's the name of the characters, okay? So they're called Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. Now their first name is Me First. That's their first name. Gimme Gimme is the reason why they have enormous hands and a reasonably big head and little tiny ears. And they also have little tiny wings. You can see that. I'm going to move this down a little bit closer so you can see it on the table cam. So the character looks like this. And he has just a solid stash line that goes across here for his mouth. They're not very happy characters, all right? And the reason why they got their name is because the basis of the story, the first part of the story, is that all they did, they were always first, and they always wanted everything everybody else had, and they walked around with a lot of guilt, and they needed a lot of stuff, but they didn't want to get it for themselves. They wanted someone else to do it for them, or they wanted to take what else someone else had. So their land was a pretty big mess. They didn't worry about what their environment looked like. They didn't pick up after themselves. They cut down all kinds of trees, even if they didn't need them. And so their land was very, very sad. And Emily didn't get to see the first part of the story, but she's going to get the second half of the story. And it's how this guy makes a transformation. And it'll kind of look physical, because that's kind of how the story goes. But when you transform something, you transform your thought or your ideas. And when we transform our ideas or our thoughts about ourselves, we tend to look different. Not a lot, but a little bit. These guys, you're going to see that in a big way, not just in a little way, which we would, like a person, the best way to describe a transformation is if you know a person and you've known them for a long time and they're really grumpy. Do you know anybody that's really grumpy?
Funny?
Grumpy.
Funny.
No, they're not funny. That's the problem. They're not funny. They're grumpy and they don't get along with other people and things like that. And then all of a sudden, yeah, him. That describes this guy right here. I think you guys can see him down here. And all of a sudden, they get tired of that all the time. I mean, all the time they're that way. And they get tired of it. And he sits on top of a mountain and in their land they live in. And he's thinking to himself, that's the first thing he was thinking. He was saying, there has to be another way. This is terrible. I can't keep doing this. And that's the beginning of his transformation, is he recognizes there's another way to do something in order to have his needs and things met. So this is his beginning of his transformation. And we're going to go pick up the story from there and show you how that happened for this particular character. When he goes to the mountaintop and he makes the decision that there must be another way. And the other thing about the character that I didn't tell you about or point out is he has a teeny tiny little heart. And big head, little tiny heart, huge hands. Huge hands is because they're grabbing all the time. And a tiny heart is because they're thinking with their head and not with their feelings and how they feel about themselves and others. So he decides that he's just done with this. He's not going to do this anymore. And because he does that, all of a sudden, his heart starts to get bigger. And in fact, I'm going to take this little piece of paper here. It's got a couple things attached to it, but I wanted to show you this. The little character, stand right over here, honey. This right here, you can see that he's recognizing that he has a heart, that he can think and feel. So here, it says as part of the story, and then we'll go on to the rest of the storybook while Emily is busy helping me do this first part of our creation for today, besides the characters. So I'm just going to set him down for a minute, and I'm going to read this part. And it says, from deep inside, and he has a new name now, he's decided he's the first one that thought of it, so he's number one. It said, from deep inside number one suddenly heard a voice filled with love. Number one felt assured it was number one's heart beginning to talk. Come follow me as we both take a walk. I'll be your guide to listen, so listen to me. I'll show you the road to a new way to be. As you let go of blame from before, you will not have the enemies you have anymore. So soon you'll discover this and much, much more. Love and forgiveness are what life's really for. So that's the beginning of his transformation. And that's because of the way he thinks and the way he feels. So that's the first transformation that happens. So I'm going to give this back to Emily. And we're going to pick the story up from there. The story is written by Dr. Gerald Jampolsky. And also his wife wrote the story with him. So let's go into the second half of the story and you'll see how this transformation takes place. All right, this is the very beginning. This is part 2. So there he is sitting on the mountaintop, and as you can see, it says, there must be another way. All right, and it's Diane Crinavoni, I don't know how you say her last name. I'm sorry, Diane, I didn't say it correctly. It's illustrated by Jack Keeler. So this is where we start. And Emily, can you hold up the little heart that's there, and so that the boys and girls can see it hold it down on the thing. Yeah, down a little bit. There you go. This is the heart. He's beginning to listen to his heart. So he's walking over this bridge of forgiveness. So we'll see how that comes into play. Thank you, sweetie. Crossing the bridge, number one felt much lighter because the sun was now shining brighter and brighter. There near the bridge's end was a rainbow arch. It signaled to end the, start that again. It signaled the end of number one's march. And as you can see, he's following his heart, as the little paragraph said when we first started the story. And once through the arch, the story is told, that's where the true miracles start to unfold. And as you can see from the picture, there's a physical transformation that number one makes. Having let go of anger, thoughts that were old, number one turned from green to a beautiful gold. With a heart full of love and yellow wings for gliding, with no effort at all, number one was now flying. And the sign says, Land of Love, welcome. So now he's moved from his thinking in his mind and by listening to his heart, now he's made a physical transformation. So this is what he finds. Greetings of love were in the air from everyone, from everywhere. And in this land of love galore, one wasn't me first anymore. The new name given made hearts roar and soar, for it was love forevermore. Over the bridge, discoveries were found that love and laughter were wonderful sounds. Everywhere was music and singing. Love was the music of everyone's being. With music and laughter in everyone's ears, each one could celebrate without any fears. So you see the difference. And we'll look back at the other land and you'll be able to compare the two. Because there was only love and no fear, everyone was so kind and gentle and dear. Each was trusting and helpful to the other, and a teacher of love to one another. Everyone helped to beautify the earth, keeping it clean as it was at its birth. They were caring because of all life was now loved. And do you know what? Even trees were hugged. Have you ever hugged a tree? Try it. See what it feels like. Now we're going to go back. Meanwhile, we're going to go back to the first part of the story. Here, back in the land of gimme gimmes, it was dark and gloomy day. Over the mountains, the me first rang out a song. a call and a plea to correct all that was wrong. Each felt the same pain number one had displayed, and all cried out loud, there must be another way. Their voices for help, soon rising high above, were heard in the land of forevermore love. There they are. There must be another way. Help, help. So this is the land that the first Gimme Gimme came from, if you didn't get to see the story. A quick response came from the love forevermore, led by the one who was me first, no more. The sun shone so brightly, love started to flow. There was then in the light near hearts all began to glow. And it was this new heart-to-heart love connection which moved all the me first in that new direction. As you're beginning to see, you're seeing the hearts going across the bridge. Now they're just flying in the air. Everyone awakened to find the key to a new way of seeing, a new way to be. Free now. Each one had a new way of living, had opened their hearts to a new way of giving. Finally, making all right where what had been so wrong. Some wondered why it had taken so long. As they joyfully listened to their gentle hearts talk, they saw the bridge of forgiveness and started their walk. Just follow your heart and listen to me. Go through the rainbow arch and you will be free. Over and over, you'll come to see forgiveness is the happiness key. Now there was one world, the real wonderful world of love, where love is the answer and love leads to love. For always and ever, as never was before, all lived happily together in the land of forevermore. So let's take just a minute and take a look at this. And you see that there's a lot of friendship, kindness, consideration for others, including one of the most important things, our animal friends and the animal community. And they were starting to take care of the planet, which is so important. And if you remember, the first pictures that were in the story, they were a mess. It was just a mess. So this is what that looks like when we all step into that idea. So the transformation went from being green with envy and jealousy and always wanting to recognize that love is really who you are, and there's many ways in which you can show it. And these little guys changed into a different character altogether. And I'll show you one of those when we get back to what we were doing at the table. All right? So that is forevermore, and you see the love. So love is forevermore. So it's a really cool story, and it's fun. If you didn't get to see the first half of the story, you can see it on our website, and I'm sure I can get Greg to put it up for us, our website, so you can see it there. And you can also see it on our YouTube channel. Do we have a special thing for YouTube channel, a line or a address? Great. Greg's going to put that up for us. Yay. We got such a smart guy back there. Yeah, leave a little bit of space in between.
Like that?
No, like this.
Oh, okay.
There, that's okay. So we're going to show you quickly what ideas we came up with so that we could show the story. And this is the thing that we came up with. And Emily is starting to create it for us. So she's going to work on it while we're talking about a couple of other things. And let's move this right here in front of you, honey, so be very careful. Okay? So she's going to work there. And I wanted to show you, this is the heart. This is a large version of the heart that they began to hear and they began to listen to. And as they did, it grew bigger and bigger. And it wasn't encased in all the doubt and the fear and the guilt and needing to be first and needing to have everything that you want without putting a lot of effort into it. So that's the heart, and this is the guy. I'm going to hold it right here so you can see that. I think you can see it, can they? Yeah, there we go. So you can see that part. And it said, follow from the start, right from the start, follow your heart. So there's that part, okay? And we'll pull those out a little bit later. Now Emily is working on the first land, which is the land of the gimme gimmes. And she's taking, you have to hold it over here, a little bit more, this way. We'll get this. There you go, now they can see what you're doing. All right, and while you're working here at the table, they can still see what you're doing.
Just gonna lay it down like.
Yeah, just lay it down like that. Perfect. So Emily is our artiste today. So what we did is we took some pictures from the story and we laminated them. And she's, like I said, she's working on the Gimme Gimme Land and working on that. And that's how she's doing that. And as you see, we have the hearts, the heart ribbon, so that depicts what is going on in their hearts and how they made a change. So here's the transformation. We went from this green guy, I'm going to hold this up here for you to see at the camera because it's pretty big. So this is the green guy, and they had tiny little wings, and they didn't know why they had wings because they couldn't fly. They're awfully big for those little wings to do anything, right? So there's the little wings. I think you can see that. I'll sit it down a little bit so you can. There's the little wings, but you get a good picture of them right there. So that's the first Gimme Gimme, and his name is number 1. He used to be me first, and he's transformed into something different. As he went over the bridge, as you could see, they transformed in color, and they also transformed in the size of their wings and the size of their heart. They didn't have great big huge hands anymore because they didn't need to grab for anything. They knew how to ask, and they knew how to give. All right? So this is what he looked like, and I will show you the new him. But before we do that, as he went over the bridge, he transformed. I made these guys, and before he actually changed the different colors, as he was walking over the bridge, he was beginning to notice that there was something that was different about him. And what that was his heart was getting bigger, and his wings were beginning to grow so that they could support his new thought process and the way he felt about himself and about other people, about other characters that's in the story. So now he actually wears his heart where you can see it. So there's his new, this was the beginning of the transformation, okay? So he still has the big hands, and he still has the big head and the teeny tiny ears that they never listened with, and he's still that way. And as he continues to go over the bridge and recognizes, as you saw in the one picture where he walks through the arch of the rainbow, and then on the other side, he's totally different. He looks now like this guy. So now he has big, huge golden wings like that. He's not gold. He's more pink than gold. And his heart is still on the outside. And that reminds them that all they have to do is look into their heart to see where they are and where they need to get back to when they get step off for just a little while and forget who they truly are, which is love. So now he has just kind of regular sized hands, and he has regular sized ears, his head's smaller, and he now looks like this. I'm going to set him down so you can see him. So for comparison, we'll set these guys together like this. So you can kind of actually see that they really, let me move my hands around a little bit while Emily stands over there. So you can actually see how much he's smaller than this guy. Those hands, that's a lot of weight to carry around, wouldn't you think? So he moves to this. So now, that's where he's at. And the only thing I didn't finish up on this little guy is his mouth. He's got a light purple mouth, but Emily and I are going to take care of that in just a few minutes. But what we thought we would do is we would kind of make the story kind of visual so that you could actually physically see it. Okay, so that's what Emily's doing right now. So she's still working on the land of the gimme gimmes. She hasn't moved into the land forevermore love. Okay, she hasn't moved to that yet. So I'm going to put these guys over here for a few minutes, and we'll look at them again in a few minutes. There we go. So what Emily's doing is she's taking these parts of the story, and I'm going to lay them down here so you can see them. You can just take whichever one you want.
Yeah,
that's the title, Me First. And here's the other parts of the story. This is Gimme Gimme. These are the first chapters of the story that we didn't show you this morning. So this is the land title of the name. This is there. It's Me, Forgive Me, Give Me. He wanted people to give them to him. And they carried heavy loads of fear and guilt. And this one is Give Me, Give Me, Gimme Gimme, Me First. And here he's sitting and he's very puzzled. He's very tired of his world looking the way it looks. And he's wondering, why do I have these teeny tiny little wings? I can't do anything with them. I don't know how to fly. So those are the things that he's working with. Where's your hoop so I can show that? So this is what Emily has done so far. Here's the picture of being the needy and being greedy. I'll move over this way so you can stand on this side. Okay, and then this one here says, it's your fault, your fault, your fault. How many times have we done that? Have we taken time and done that where we think something is somebody else's fault? And sometimes we get into situations where it's not just us, but it's a group of people or one or two people that have created the situation. So it's kind of a shared fault. That's how we can put it. So Emily is going to continue working on this, and then I will go ahead and move into the story that we talked about today. And then we're going to be using a bigger hoop for this one. So let's see, can you see this one? Yeah, this is a bigger one. I'll hold it up here too. So this is the first one, and the reason why we have two different size hoops is because when they lived in the land of Gimme Gimme, they were very constricted and had very small space to be who they wanted to be. And as their hearts grew larger, their world grew larger. They were more at home not only with themselves, but with everybody else too. And with not necessarily just that, but their own environment. They were better with their own environment. So she's working on that one. And while she works on that one, I'm going to unloosen this. These are embroidery hoops, and this is, if you want to do something like this, you might be able to find the book on Amazon. I'm not sure if you can get them in a bookstore or maybe the library might have them. But we're all very creative, and we know how to do amazing things. What you can do is you create your own pictures, or you can find pictures in magazines that kind of tell the story of how you personally may have gone from being grumpy and moody and not very pleasant to be with, and moved into when you recognize, no, this is a lousy place to be. I don't like feeling this way. I want to feel different, a different way. So you can create your own pictures if you're good at drawing. That would be really a fun project to do that. So we're taking this one here, and I'm going to take, because the rainbow that's in the story and the rainbow bridge that they walk across, I thought that was so pretty. So in order to talk about the land that they moved into, we're going to take this really pretty rainbow ribbon, and I'm just going to hot glue it on here while she's working on that one. And we're just going to go around like that with that one. That's just the outside after we glue the other pictures on. Okay? And we may not get all the way through this by the time our time is up with you. See, am I in your way?
Yeah.
Okay, she's continuing to work on that. And here's what it looks like. We laminated the pictures so that they would be stronger and they wouldn't tear as easily. So what you can do with that, If you don't want to laminate it, you can just draw your pictures or glue your pictures to cardstock. And that works too, which is just a heavier weight paper. So while she's working on that one, I'm going to start the ones for our other hoop. So I'm going to get those started as Emily works on the other thing. So Emily, do you ever feel grumpy?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And do you find yourself blaming something or someone else for your being grumpy?
No.
No, good for you. I do sometimes. I blame the wind sometimes. Makes me grumpy because my hair's always a mess. So I do. I'm glad you don't, but I do. And there's other times, excuse me for a second, throw that in the trash. There's other times that we feel, keep my stuff over here and you keep yours there. Very cool. That looks great, sweetie.
It is a
Yeah, there you
hat.
go. You can walk around
Not a
that.
chandelier.
There you go. That looks very cool. I love that, dear. Yeah, see, you can walk around and advertise it. Are you caught?
Stuck.
There you go. But I think this would be more fun to advertise than that one,
Yeah, probably.
right?
That one's more colorful, and this is like green.
And why is that?
Rainbow.
And why is that? Why do you think that is? That's the color.
Because he's kind of like feeling blue.
Kind of feeling blue, kind of feeling sad, or feeling like there's things that he wants that he can't have because maybe somebody else has it first, and you know that's how the story goes. And then in the other one, the land of love forevermore is more bright, and we are a lot happier when we're not feeling grumpy and feeling like, good grief, why do I feel this way, and why is everything always happening to me, and you know, and we're blaming other people and things for how we're feeling. Yet, aren't we, the best part of who we are is that we get, there you go. You want scissors too?
I need scissors.
The best part about it is that we get to choose where we want to be. Do we want to be there in that land, or do we want to be in this one?
Probably this one because it's more colorful.
It's got a lot more color, doesn't it?
And this dude has like wings.
And they can fly too. The other place didn't know he could fly. I guess because their wings were so small, right?
Yeah, probably.
It wouldn't hold them up.
This dude, he has his like hands, like his one wing is like as big as
Yep.
like my hands.
Yeah. And in this one, that's a whole lot different. Like, do we want to sit around and look like this
No,
and feel like that all the time? That would be not fun.
but we want to say me first.
Yeah, me first. You get to be second or not at all, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. So, with these, it's kind of a cool picture to show, as Emily said. Here, you can wear it. It's a crown. But
It's
do
a
we want to wear
crown.
that crown?
No.
Not the gloomy one. We
No.
certainly don't want to wear that one, right?
Oh no.
But again, as I was saying, with this, to move from this land over here to over here, it takes one thing. It takes one special thing that you get to do. And you are the only person that can do it. What do you think that might be? What do you think that might be?
Be kind and change yourself because
And
nobody can
change
do
yourself
that.
by doing what? Where's the guy on the mountain?
Maybe a stool.
Here he is. So what was he doing?
He was being.
He's
There must be.
He's thinking.
Think.
He's thinking. And he's listening to his heart. And he's using that power that we have within each one of us, and nobody can take it away. You have choice. You get to choose how you're going to feel. And when we're connected to who we are and how we feel about ourselves, you need scissors?
Nope. This is just falling away.
Okay.
Don't fall away, please.
So we have the great thing and the great joy of choice is that we get to choose what it is we want to think and how we want to feel. Sometimes circumstances and situations happen where we don't have a lot of big choices, like, okay, I want to go over to my girlfriend's house or my other friend's house. Right now we don't have that choice because we don't want to make them sick and we don't want to get sick ourselves.
No.
So we have to think of another way. We can still have choice. Beautiful, honey.
Beautiful.
Yes, beautiful. So you're working on those 3. The choice.
Those 3.
There's these right here. Still go on that hook.
But
Right
there's 4.
is there 4?
1, 2, 3, 4.
You did that one. Okay. Yes, she's right. There's 4. My counting skills aren't up to par this morning. They'll get better as time goes on, right?
Yeah. Oh.
All right. I'm going to start the second one.
Gotta hold this pencil, place my hair.
Yeah, I'm going to get other ribbon out. In fact, I might just use some of this. I like this color. Don't you? I think that's really pretty.
Rainbow.
I like it. So we're going to cut this one.
Rainbow. Hey, no, you're not writing anything.
I like
I
that
have like
one.
one more to do.
You have what? One more to do?
Like no
So
more
what we're
space.
doing, and you can do the same thing if you want to make
turn
something like this. You just buy the hoops at, you can get them at Target, Walmart, Joann's. You can get them in Hobby Lobby.
There's
you can
only
get them all
one
those
more
places.
for one more space.
Okay, you can probably get maybe 2 in there.
Yeah, total.
Yeah, you just choose which ones you want to put. Okay. So, and then we're taking a glue gun, of course. If you've asked your mom and dad and you've worked with a glue gun before, that's
have.
great. If you don't have one, you can always use that old thing we can fall back on, Scotch tape or glue. You can use the
But maybe not like,
you would have to use a real good sticky glue, like a craft glue. It's not
but
like
not like
Elmer's
not like
wouldn't work so well.
not a stick, like not.
No, not a glue stick. Glue stick won't work. No. That
no,
won't
not
work.
glue stick.
That would not work. So I just wanted to get at least one of these put on there before our time is up so that you can see, and then Emily and I will finish this up later.
Where is the?
Let's see. And we use the inside
There
hoop for
you are. You're
this.
hiding from me. Excuse me.
And,
I need you.
so even with this, you could put a piece of Scotch tape, and I'll use Scotch
You're
tape.
gonna
You
burn
use
your
the glue gun.
hands off.
Don't do that. Here's another one of the ribbon.
Thank you. Wait, is it 10 feet? Is it 10
Okay.
feet?
So I'm going to use Scotch tape on mine because I know Scotch tape will work too. Plus, once we put these in the hoop's going to hold it too. So you can use Scotch tape, so that's even easier. Everybody has Scotch tape, at least I think we do.
Everybody
Yeah.
should have Scotch tape.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and since I've done one on this, then I'm going to put this together.
Dang, I put that together.
I think I'm doing it.
There.
Okay, so we're going to put
Gotta
that together.
cut this off.
Yeah.
Cut. Okay, then we're done. No.
You got it?
No.
All right.
I did
So
it
Emily, do you have
9.
to forgive yourself very often?
Yes.
Yes. I think we all do it.
Because I just did now, because I put it 9 feet.
You put it at 9 feet? You mean inches?
Yes. And just because if it was 9 feet, I
9
mean.
feet, I think that's taller than your dad.
Yeah, probably.
I think 9 feet's taller than your dad, don't you?
Yeah, probably.
Just a little bit?
Yeah.
So anyway, this has a little screw at the end, so you can unscrew it to make it open wide.
Looks like we're not doing that one. This.
Like that. And so that slips onto there. And I'll hold it like this so you can see it. Can't see the hoop yet, but this is
Come
my-
here, Hardy. I want to shop you up.
How you doing on that?
I'm good.
All
Just
right.
trying
Terrific.
to cut this thing off.
There
Okay,
we go.
I'm done.
We just have to play with this long enough to get it to open up.
I now need to pick 2, so we're gonna go.
Okay,
Where
go
did you
ahead.
do first? We're gonna do this one.
There's a little screw thing right here that you just turn it,
The only one I want to do.
and it makes the first hoop big enough to go around the other one. There we go. All right. So, with the story, it ends up allowing us to know that we can, again, have choice. We can move in our world, and our world can just be our family and our school and our friends, but we've got a world that encompasses all kinds of things that gives us the opportunity. There we go.
Okay, we have 2 ribbons, but one's like 9 inches and
One's what?
one's 9 inches, one's
Okay.
10, and I don't know which one.
Okay, that's all right. It doesn't really matter, honey. It's all right. Okay, so we've got the other one started here. Here, let's come stand on this side just a little bit. There we go. Want them to be able to see this one. So this is the one from the land from forevermore, love forevermore. And so we'll go ahead and put the rest of these pieces and pictures around here. And then I'm going to have Emily be my extra pair of hands. So Emily, I want you to take this one and put it up on top here, like this.
I'm not done.
I know you're not. Now hold it up there. Okay, so if you decide that you want to make something like this, this is how you do it. And then we'll take ribbon and take the ribbon and go here and over here on this part and over here on this part. So it's balanced. And then we'll make a little handle that goes here and you can hang it up. And again, this can be something you can do for yourself. And it can also be a story that you want to tell, because this is a fun way to talk about a story. So what I want to leave you with, and I'm sure Emily does too, is that you always have a choice as to how you want to think and how you want to feel. Even though some circumstances give us an opportunity to, even though we can't do everything, as we talked about before, where you can't go over to your friend's house and just play right now, but there's other ways. What are other ways you can play with your friends when you're can't physically be in front of them? What are other ways?
You can like call them.
You can call them. Okay. What's another way?
You could call them again.
Well, you could call them again. Could you maybe, if they live across the street, you could stand on this side and they could stand on the other side, and you can just get to yell at each other?
Hello!
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Or maybe draw pictures and say, "See what I'm saying? See what I'm doing?" That's another
This is
thing.
what I'm doing today.
Yeah. Or you might be able to play catch or play ball.
Yeah,
You
but
could do something. Just so there's no cars. Yeah, no?
It's the same ball and different person.
Well, they're across the street. Remember, 6 feet, and it's not always across the street. You can just play on the other side of your driveway.
I know, but you have to have like a different ball.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You could have plastic gloves on. Uh-huh. No, that doesn't sound like fun?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then we could think of something else that you might be able to do.
Wouldn't it
back and
like
forth.
just your gloves just like fall off? You know, I think the calling thing is just a good idea.
I think the calling thing's a good idea too. But what about Zoom? Could you do Zoom with them?
Yeah, because it's the same thing of calling, but
Yeah, but you get to
More
see
people.
you get to see their face too.
that's the same.
Yeah. Well, that is. So you can do that. I know my one grandson lives in Colorado, and my other grandson lives with me, and they're about 2 years apart in age, and they play on FaceTime. They play games, and they do all kinds of different things. Even though they can't be face-to-face and in the same room together, they get the opportunity to still play with one another and interact and do different things. So that's another way. But again, we're always a choice. We have mom and dad to help back us up, to help with those choices before we actually step out and do them, so that we don't have to live in the land of me first and the gimme-gimmes and be having to restrict ourselves or have a very little life. And again, here's our transformation, guys. This is this is where we started, and this is where we ended up. So this is the gloomy, and this is the guy that's happy and loves his life and the things that he's able to do. So my opportunity to share with you and share things with you is to be able to make your choices. Always be sure that your choices are checked with your moms and dads. Always want to keep ourselves and our families safe. And be creative. Use that imagination that you have, and you could just soar and do all kinds of great things. So I wish you a very good day and rest of the week. How about you?
I wish you a good day and hope you have a good day today. You already said that. Just have a good day.
Just have a good day. I think we got the idea, didn't we?
Yeah, just have the greatest day of your life.
Well, they do. Every day's your great day. So, take care, enjoy your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.
With Emily and our creation here. Take care.
Goodbye.
That looks very nice.